Hey everybody, how you doing today? There's a lot of talk about how I supposedly hate veterans. Nothing could be further from the truth. The reality of it is that I have never met a veteran who either didn't regret joining the military or, didn't come back without being psychologically damaged in some way. And it hurts to see these people sacrifice themselves to the government, for corporate profits, for banker profits. You know, there used to be an old adage during the Crusades, these people would go and fight and die for God. And they would basically be sacrificing their lives for the church. Same thing applies now. See, the government fools people into thinking that they're fighting some heroic, courageous fight for freedom or for ethics or for something like that. And they're not. They're going overseas and fighting for corporate profits. They're fighting to help some government take hold of natural resources in some plot of land that some people happen to call a country. And these people come back from 2 tours of duty, 3 tours, 4 tours. Stefan Molyneux made a great video a while back on war and how many tours of duty the average soldier would fight, way back in World War One, where you might be in combat situations maybe 2 weeks out of the year. Whereas today, because of the technology that we have, a lot of soldiers are in combat situations for, half a year. 6 months out of the year, they're in a combat situation. And then you have the whole issue of occupation. And the thing of it is these people are sacrificing their lives, not for some noble purpose, even though they're being told that they are. Because it's just one government fighting another government. And they use these buzzwords, they use propaganda. And so when these soldiers come home, they are emotionally damaged, psychologically damaged, physically damaged. And it's one of those things of, that it was a needless thing to do. Yeah, they got a paycheck, but is a paycheck really? They don't get paid that much. So it's not like back in the old Roman era where the soldiers got a share of the plunder. No, these soldiers are getting a little bit of a paycheck so that some corporation can hold the resources. So basically, these soldiers are sacrificing their lives for nothing, throwing away their lives for nothing. I can't tell you how many veterans I see on the street. And, they might be getting a little bit of money from the government, not anywhere near enough to pay for housing, barely enough to pay for food. Medical care, not very good quality medical care. So really the state uses these people, convinces them to throw their lives away. And then, when they're all used up, throws them aside. For all the talk the military and the state does about, loyalty to your country, well, you know what? Your fucking country doesn't have any loyalty to you. And, you sure as hell ought to be able to see that. And, I know there's a lot of, armchair warriors out there who beat the war drums from behind the safety of their gated community, or from the safety of their private estate or whatever, right? The people who scream for war are never the ones on the front lines. That right there should tell you something. That right there should tell you something. So do I hate veterans? No, I feel a lot of grief and sorrow and empathy for them because, if that's your only option in life, to join the military, I gotta kind of wonder what the hell happened. But then again, I look at the educational system. I look at how a lot of these soldiers have grown up in childhoods. Usually they're from dysfunctional families. Usually they're from poor neighborhoods. They're from ghettos. They're from, they see the military as a way out. And they're sold as a way, it's sold as a way out, right? But it's not. It's not. And so, no, I do not hate the troops. I do not hate the military. I do hate, the government. I hate war. I hate the military-industrial complex, which says to these young people that, their potential, should go to sacrificing themselves on some bloody field far from home for the sake of some corporation's profits. It's tragic. It really is tragic. I guess with that said, I know I'll get a lot of criticism with this video, but you know what? So be it. I'm heroic, and I speak truth to power. As far as fighting in a war for a paycheck, for some corporation's profits, there's nothing heroic about that. Nothing heroic or virtuous at all about that. So, to all the soldiers out there, I'm sorry that you're in the position you're in, but also, no thank you for your service. Please just, get out of the military and find something better to do with your life. Because you're worth more than that. You're worth far more as an entrepreneur, or, you're worth more as a janitor or a burger flipper than you are as some bloody sacrifice to the state or to some corporation. Because the state and the corporations never get tired of the blood sacrifice, and that's what it is. It's a blood sacrifice, and no amount of blood will satisfy their thirst. So please, I beg of you, if you're thinking of joining the military, please don't. And if you're in the military, I am so incredibly sorry. Have a nice day, everybody.